total eclipse. It was incredible.
Yeah, I remember that one too, and I remember another one at school.
No, I don't
And not only did it, but there was colour changes as well. Whatever brought them about, I don't know, but I was only a cub, about 9 or 10 in school at that time.
Where you go, Brian? Shut away.
Recording. Right, Maggie, you know the drill, we just want to talk about the time. Well, just start off whenever you're young and what life was around the town, whenever you were a cub, before you ended up in the yards then. Just a wee bit of general background, what life was like. Like, you or Jimmy had described, you know, early on how tough it was, you know, with big families and all, and things were rough. It was tough times. I know everybody was in pretty much the same boat. Just give us a flavour of the town. Again, with the remember that this is for a younger audience, for school, the youngsters mostly. Give us a bit of a rundown. Just what life was like before you started. Well, your first job was here. Start around about that area whenever you first started in the factory.
Mm-hmm.
You just could think about that.
For a very second, I trying to think.
Don't worry about starting because this can be edited.
But I'm trying to think. Left school, and what year was that? Christ. 1944, 14 years later, 54, 59. That'll be in around, right, about 59, started in the yard. Now, this is not being recorded now, is it?
But don't worry about that.
No, I'm just trying to...
That's alright, that doesn't matter, everything can be just sliced out, just work away. That's the thing. Don't worry about the camera, just talk as if you're... Well, you're recounting it as if you were telling it to your grandchildren or whatever.
Yeah, well, I left school in about 1959, 14 years of age. Started work with Joe McStravick and the Glenside Dairies, milking cows and bottling milk. I liked it too, so I did at the time. But we had a local run here in the town here, and I suppose Glenside Dairies is a thing of the past now. But
well, did people just milk their cattle and then bottle it?
No.
Was there a process?
Joe McStravick had a herd of cattle at that time. He might have had maybe 30, 40 cows, all milking, you know. You were up at maybe 6:30 in the morning, milking machines on. We did have milking machines, we weren't hand milked. And milking was complete maybe for about 8:30 or so, and bottled, cooled and bottled, filtered, cooled and bottled, and on the lorry. Jackie McBride was driving the lorry at that time, and I went out along with Jackie and we delivered the day's milk. And I was there for maybe about, it wasn't much more than 6 months, I suppose, anyway. And I left it then and got a job in Cullinan factory. £3.07 a week. And there wasn't much to come and go whenever you paid into the house and seen to yourself. But that's what I started off about, £3.07 a week. Was there maybe about another 6 months, and left that and started in Kelly's Yard, 1960. 1960 I started in Kelly's Yard. That was a big place at that time.
I was going to say, was that a big
That was a big place at that time.
How many was employed?
Well, approximately in around 300. Whenever I started, it was in around 300. There was a machine department, there was a kiln department, there was the duck house, and there was the stacking grounds, and there was the lorries and maintenance. Like, you wouldn't be long getting 300 people together, you know. But you know, a funny thing, I meet people even yet that say, I worked in Kelly's Yard in 1960 on up, you know. I never seen them. You know, because we were all in our own departments, you know, and you come in the morning and that's where you were till you finished your day's work, you know.
Well, it was a tough work. Was it dirty work? What describe the work?
It was dirty work in a sense. The machines were all oiled with socket oil to keep the pipes from sticking on the blocks and that type of thing. And it was always a spray, you know. That spray went out. You were breathing it in actually as well, you know. It was on your clothes, it was on your boots, and it just wasn't all that pleasant, but you seem to become immune to it, you know. But I was years in that. As I say, I started in 1960, about Easter 1960, and I was there for 47 years. 47 years, like, you know, people say a sentence, you know, but you know, like, oh, 47 years I was employed, you know, like, you know, it was hard times, but there was work, you know, and I never was out of work, with the exceptions of maybe one recession, which lasted maybe 9 months. I was out for that period and back in again, you know, and it just continued. But as I say, like, at that time there was maybe 7 or 8 wee tipper lorries drawing clay from the Pitton Dairy on the Dairy Road there, and they tipped up on the tip, and there was a digger there, and it was bringing it in, and it was put through a box feeder and filtered out onto belts, which were fed up into the mills, ground through high-speed rollers to make it more elasticated, you know, and up into the belts into second mixers, which were dropped down into what we would have called a plug or a pug, sorry, and it squeezed the clay into square blocks, and they were fed onto a chain of buckets which went out round the whole yard, you know, out round the whole machine department, and all the machines was fed from that. The man up the stairs, he took a block of clay and he pushed it into the machine, and it went down through the process and came out a pipe on the other end, you know. There were 7 machines. There were 7 machines, I think, at that time, and they were all squads. Maybe at least 4 men in any one squad, you know. And started at 8 o'clock in the morning, and that was hammer and tongs through to tea time. 15-minute break, back on again. Half hour, 3/4 of an hour break at lunchtime, and on ahead again to, well, at that time it was 5:30. Long enough day, you know, especially when you were a lad. But that was the process, day in and day out, 5.5 days a week. All parts of the yard were working 6 days a week. The kilns worked 6 days a week. Now, there was a job. Like, kilns were hot. I've seen men going in with wet bags over their head into kilns for to take the wear out. Lorry sitting outside the wicket waiting on it, you know, and was just put hot onto the back of the lorry for delivery, you know. It was hard work, but it really was hard work, so it was. Thank God I wasn't involved with it at that time, you know. And there was the duct house, which was in